right, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide, looking in at some energy from the aspect of Leo. So, oh, look, the Emperor wanting to flip around there. Last time we spoke, Leo, last time I looked at your energy, it was the ideal that you were owing someone an apology. You can flip it, twist it, reverse it. Maybe someone owed you an apology, but it felt like there was an apology energy on the air. Now we're looking at the energy. Mars has just gone direct in Gemini. So this energy is about an idea of plans and ideas coming together and missing information returns. So did you figure out that you needed to make an apology? Are you about to? We're still sort of the energy from the full moon in Cancer is starting to dissipate. We're still under the energy of a Mercury retrograde. So let's have a look at how that energy is affecting Leo. Now, all of these constructs exist to help us, and to break it down into 12 different aspects just helps to divvy up the energy a little bit more precisely. So if this energy is for you, it's for you, and wonderful. If it's not, just let it go. But we're just having a bit of a look at the aspect. Mars moving into Gemini from the aspect of Leo. Let's get ourselves a couple of layers of energy. Let's dig ourselves a reading. Let's go. Juggling. Right, Two of Pentacles come straight out in the push of the universe. 10 of Wands in our 3D. Tower in the 5D. Right, so did you figure it out? Did you know that you owed an apology, or that you owe an apology? I wonder. The burden's coming to an end though. Strength card in the challenge. We've got the Fool in the advice from Spirit. And we've got the Empress as the likely outcome. Interesting energy for you there, Leo. Let's just have a quick. Okay, sorry about that little distraction. I'm good to go. Righto, the push from the universe, it is a juggling energy. So, however this energy has played out, it does want to settle, but it does require a bit of a bending on your behalf, is how I'm picking it up. Is like when information comes towards you at first, it feels like the initial energy wants to put you, maybe you think you have the higher ground initially, and it's like going, actually, for me to get what I want out of this scenario, what I really have to do is accept I'm on the lower ground. And it's like, to me, it's a big realization energy. And it could have you juggling back and forth. I'm not sure what you're juggling just yet, but I will get to the bottom of that energy. But the universe has you, to me, it's like going, I thought I had the higher ground, but in reality, I don't have the high ground. I'm standing on the low ground. And what does that mean for me? Where am I going? What am I going to do in order to make myself feel like I'm moving in the path of the right direction? Now, in the physical space, it feels like, see this, it feels like a real burden. And sometimes that can happen. It's going, like, I don't think your intentions are impure or untrue. I don't think you've gone out of your way to cause disruption here, but I think you have fallen foul on the whatever disagreement or whatever imbalance has been taking place for you. It's been that you found yourself on the short end, and now you're under the burden of having to remedy the situation. Now, in the soul space, look, we've got the Tower card, and this is tough for you, Leo. Leo's, they do have a fierce strength. I'm not going to call out a fierce ego, because we've all got fierce egos at times. But, in some of us, it fires more readily. You are proud people, Leo. You walk with a sense of pride about who you are and what your purpose is in life. Generally speaking, you are outgoing and you're forward, but like your deeper emotions can be put on the back burner in favor of holding your status quo. You want people to believe certain things about the way you're moving through life. You can flip it, twist it. If this is somebody that you're looking at in your scenario, that you go, that saying, pride comes before a fall. This is kind of where I've been seeing you, Leo, in moving forward in a situation where you thought you had the high ground, where you thought your argument was holding water, and now you've come to realize that it's not. And to have the Tower in your soul space is a really come crashing down to earth energy. But it's okay to embrace this. It's okay to get things wrong sometimes, and it's certainly okay to feel embarrassed, to feel humiliation is not there to destroy us. If this is an energy playing out around you, and I feel pretty significantly, if it's not you, it's someone very, very close to you, and that, in some way you've contributed to the falling down of their wagon, and you feel like you have some responsibility. The overriding energy is it felt like you had the high ground. Now you've got the low ground. That's become a burden, and it's caused some kind of cataclysm in your soul space. Now we are, as I keep mentioning, we're in a 2023, which is a 7 soul year. So for you to be kicking off the year with this kind of energy, with a tower energy, means that the divine has got something pretty significant up its sleeve for you. Now remember that Mars in Gemini energy, I said it's plans and ideas coming together and missing information returns. What information has come back to you that has put you into this energy, that has gone, I didn't know that that was the truth. I didn't know that that was what was meant to be happening. And now it's got me into a place of heavy burden, and I'm feeling like I'm juggling my position on what has happened. Here you've got the strength card in the challenge. So you don't need strength if you don't have fear and anxiety. This is an inner strength. This is an inner will, and yours is being challenged. So it's like I said, Leos hold a very, very proud energy. They pride themselves on looking after their people. They pride themselves in being strong of spirit. This energy is, if this is in your challenge, this is challenging the very heart of who you are. This is Leo energy. This is, that inner strength is the heart of Leo energy. And if this is being challenged for you right now, my gut feeling, my role on this is because that you believed what you were doing, you believed in where you were headed and what your process was, and now you're having to stand on your other foot and go, I didn't realize my actions were causing hurt. I didn't realize my actions were causing pain, and all I really want to do is make things better, because look what comes around next. I want to take a chance on making things better. The fool didn't actually realize the journey that he was on. Now, the tower is not the end of the major arcana, but I feel like this tower coming in on your soul space really does put you at the baseline. I mean, the fool comes in as the start of a new journey, so it's a natural scenario, but we've also got the 10 that wraps up a journey. The tower is not the end of the journey, right? If we saw the world there, we go, wrapped up, you learned all your lessons, good to go, let's move on. But it's the tower, so you've still got a minute to go. There's still some level of process to play out where you come into true understanding about how your actions have impacted another person. And this could play out in a bunch of different ways. It could be that you've stayed in a relationship that you shouldn't have stayed in, to the detriment of everybody around you. When you come into the realization that the relationship was doing more harm than good, you're finally at the point where you can let it go, which is, it takes strength to walk away from something that's not serving you. Perhaps you've been pursuing somebody who's not meant for you, and you finally had a conversation come back at you that says, I will never be the person that you want to be. I will never be the person who chooses you as their partner. Perhaps you've had a rejection on that front, and there's a belief inside your soul space that the person you were pursuing was the person you were meant to be with. You are coming to the end of the burden on some kind of belief or ideal that you held to be very proud and very true. And I think the hurt that you've been causing outside of this has not been deliberate, but it has been that you've been on a high road that you have misunderstood, and now you found yourself on the low road, which brings things undone, brings things unstuck. It requires strength for you to move forward, but Spirit suggests you do exactly that. You get on the path of the fool, you start listening to your heart and listening to your soul, and you begin your journey again. Fresh starts aren't the end of the world. It can feel like the end of the world when you have to change track, when things fall down, but it's a breakdown to breakthrough energy. And the fool comes in to say, you've got this, Leo. You've got this. It's time to pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You are a proud soul, and you are, you do go out of your way to do things properly. You do go out of your way to care for the people who are around you. And this disappointment or this wrong side of a situation that you found yourself on is setting you up for a fresh new start, where you get to have a new process start to unfold. You get to, you're at the foothill of a new journey through the major arcana. And it says to do that, you need to really trust yourself that this journey is taking you somewhere. If you were believing you were on the high road before, but the fool's going, actually, no, brother, you're on the low road. Look, you're actually on the low road. Here's the path to the high road. All this time you had all of this path to take, and you couldn't see it because the fool can't actually see where they're going. But now the universe is gone, come on, we'll show you, the way. Like, come on, I've got you. Let me take you by the hand and show you that you've been on the low road. Let's put you on the high road to where you want to go. And the likely outcome of that, Leo, is that you end up in Empress energy. So Empress energy, it trusts the cosmos, it's connected to the earth plane, it births new ideals, it's nurturing, it's caring, it's the all and the everything. It is the divine feminine incarnate. So where you're headed, whether you're a man or you're a woman watching this, whatever wheels are falling off your cart, whether it's you or your person that someone very close to you and you're watching this fall out, but it's relevant to you, and you've been on the high road, but now you figure out that you're on the low road. The low road is taking you to the path of the Empress. Trust the low road. The low road has way more to learn than always being on the high road. When things break down, they're breaking down to break through. It's going to require your inner strength to get there, but you've got everything you need to make the transition necessary to hold the faith of the fool and just follow your feet onto the new path, which will take you to the high road that you always believed yourself to be on. Let's get another layer of energy on that and see if we can get some more insight to what's playing out for you, Leo. Like I said, the last reading I did for you under the full moon energy suggested an apology was required on your side, but now this energy is returning to you, and we're starting to get the missing pieces, so you come into understanding of why things were in upheaval for you. A tantric journey. Magic. Coherence. We've got belief. We've got prosperity. And we've got transition. Oops. Okay, sorry about that little break there. Having a couple of technical difficulties, but we're good. Let's keep going. Now, tantric journey in the soul space. What's really interesting about this one, and I think it's cool that it comes through with the Two of Pentacles, because I mean, we can talk about tantra in the and the first thing that most people go is it's a sexual connective process, connected to spirit, connected to all those things. Sure, we can put the sexual spin over that, and that's what most people know and connect with. But what I want to talk about with this tantric journey is it's a deeply spiritual process, and I want you to sort of, don't want to be bossy, but where I want to pin this is this ideal of understanding spiritual connection to yourself and to others. So when we're looking at tantric or tantra, I want to take it away from people just going, oh, well, that's a sex energy. I want to take it to the heart of what it's about, and that's two souls connecting. It's seeing each other for the truth of who they are in their spiritual bodies, not just in their physical bodies. Yes, your physical body takes the journey for sure, but the tantra part of this, throw that word around and everybody thinks sex, but do they understand it's your soul and your spirit? That's the important part of it, of how your soul and your spirit connect with one another. And if I'm preaching to the choir, I apologize. It's I'm speaking very generally and assuming a lot in saying what I'm saying, but you've got the Two of Pentacles here. So if we apply these two together in the push from the universe, I think what Spirit is asking you to understand is the energy, the spiritual energy that exists between you and other people. And for whatever reason, where you were on this high ground, Spirit's going, see how this infinity loop wraps around these two pentacles? It's going, sometimes the most important reason two people come together is to affect each other's energy and to push them into the truth of who they are cosmically or spiritually, and it's not necessarily about the physical walk. Now there's something in that, because I keep saying that Leo is a proud energy, it's a protective energy, it's a strong energy, but what Spirit's asking to embrace is a spiritual energy connected and understanding the bond between yourself and others as a spiritual bond, and it's not just the physical bond. So lean into that where you will. But this Ten of Wands, it's like it's bringing the end of the journey around. Now, magic is a pretty special word, isn't it? It's like the, keep your eye on what's happening and still try and understand that there's something happening in front of you that your eyes might not necessarily know what's happened, but something has transformed magically before your eyes. My ideal is that this is going to be you. right? You're going to move into a new energy as if by magic. Now, that doesn't always feel that way when you get yourself into a tower energy, right? You kind of like going, this doesn't feel like magic at all. This feels like crap. Susie, don't tell me about towers. Towers suck. And I'm going to say, yeah, it can feel like a tower sucks if that's your building and it's on fire and all the bricks are falling down to the ground. And you go, how can you tell me that this feeling is magic? That's not the feeling that's magic, but the universe creates in positives and negatives, right? And if it wants to build you into a new chapter, which it suggests it does by the Fool, sometimes it's got to take down what doesn't serve you. It's got to take stuff away in order to bring something new in. And you're going to have understand. Coherence is very, very, that's an important word to have, because I keep saying you thought you had the high ground, but I actually believe you had you had the high road, you're actually on the low road. And when you come to understand that, yeah, the building falls down, but look at all the bricks on the ground that you can rebuild with, right? You can rebuild from the ground up, but you've got to understand where you sit in that energy. And if you just sit on your pride and on your ego, it's really hard for spirit to get you to the end of what feels like a burden. If you're going to hold on to this energy so tightly, like if you are at the end of a connection and you just refuse to let it go, you're not going to transform into the new energy, right? You're not going to transform a new connection. Magic will not be able to occur while you wring the neck out of an old situation. Let go of what you've got to let go of. Apologize to who you need to apologize. Are you holding on to an old gripe? Do you have a past lover? We're in Mercury retrograde energy, and we're looking for the root cause and not to fall back into old patterns. We're either looking to push romance closer or push it away under the Venus Aquarius energy. What is it that you've come to conclusion on in going, have you been holding a grudge, or have you been holding distance from someone who you should have been bringing closer? And you thought you were taking the high road and keeping them separate from you, but all you were doing is hurting yourself. These are the kinds of scenarios that I'm looking will play out. Maybe you thought somebody cheated on you and they didn't, and you thought you had the high ground, but when the missing pieces come in, you're going to find you've been keeping someone away from you who you never had to push away. However this falls out in your scenario, coherence and a tower will take place. The tower will bring you into understanding of why you've not been on the high road, you've been on the low road. Your struggle is going to believe what you hear, right? Your struggle is to believe it and to find it. It will cause stress and anxiety. It will cause fear, and it will cause you to have to push to find inner strength to believe in a new truth. But I picked this up last time around you, that the apology actually had to come from you, not the other person. Flip it, trip it, twist it, adjust, do what you got to do. If you're watching this on behalf of a Leo and they owe you an apology, let it make sense that way. But the struggle will be to believe that the facts that they're finding out under the Mars and Gemini energy, which is tipping over from the 13th, around the 13th. But we should start to feel that, take a couple of days to actually marinate and come forward. But that energy sits with us till the end of March. So under this energy, we're looking for the missing information to return. And Leo, under that, it's gonna crack you open a little bit, break you down to break you through, and it's gonna be hard to believe in what you're hearing. But if you can let go and figure out that you are on the low road and you start moving in the direction of the high road, guess what follows? Prosperity. You're going to get what you want, right? So start fighting for it. Start fighting to understand your actual position instead of just holding tight on what you think is happening. Start fighting for what is actually happening, not what you think is happening. And that transition, yay, you move into the energy of the Empress, right? Where you have true coherence, you have prosperity, you have magic, you have connection with other people. You move out of the struggle of strength and into the energy. The transition will be complete, but you won't make the transition into the Empress energy unless you take the path of the Fool. Let's put love energy over the top of that and see what we've got. What have we got for you, Leo, over the top of this story we already had? See? I'm not kidding you, Leo. Let go of control issues. Let go. The situation's not as you believe it to be. getting to know each other. What have we got here? New love. Yep. We've got attraction. We've got romantic feelings. And last one, we've got release your ex. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Release them. Release them. Okay. Letting go of control issues is you can be right or you can be happy. That's how I'm going to phrase this one. You can be right or you can be happy. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Holding on to this ideal is keeping you out of your actual scenario. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Do not choke this thing. Do not bottleneck it. Do not put a noose around its neck. This energy needs to flow. Tantric energy explores the freedom of connection between you and others, right? And it's going, if you put a block to that energy, if you just go, nope, this is the only experience I'm gonna have. I'm just gonna keep looping around here. I'm just gonna keep looping around this panicle because I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. What they did was wrong. Okay. All right. You want to keep looping around here? Guess what? None of this other stuff is going to unfold, right? But if you can do this, right, let go of control and let it move through the bottleneck and go the full length of this infinity symbol, your experience is going to change. And will it feel uncomfortable? Yes. Yes, it will. But it's got to break down to break through. You've got to let that energy flow in order to change your situation. Getting to know each other, right? I've got this in a slightly different vein. It's probably like meeting someone new and what does it say? As you reveal your innermost feelings to each other, your bond deepens, which is true. That's energy that it's feeling. But when I'm saying getting to know each other, what I want to actually say to you is you're going to get to understand the missing pieces. That's what I pick up about this energy. In laying down this burden, you're getting to understand the missing pieces. And then you're actually going to go, ah, there's something about that person that I didn't actually know and understand. And here I was believing this the whole time when this is actually what's true. Now, this will cause a tower, right? New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. What I'm picking up, right? It could be that someone comes back around from your past and you have to take a new perspective of them. It could be. That could be your scenario. Or on the flip, it could be that you need to let go of someone that you've been holding difficult energy for. You need to forgive, move on. And I don't say any of this flippantly. You know that I'm taking these things seriously and you know that I know how hard that is. But in order to bring a new love to you, it is going to have to go. You need to let go of that stubborn point of view and offer some level of forgiveness to what's gone wrong. Find your way onto that high ground. Attraction. So it might be difficult. Like I said, this will be hard for you to do. It's going, while you still hold tough energy to the scenario that you're wringing by the neck, it's going to be hard to bring something new in. But when you get on the journey of the Fool, when you open it up and you start moving, you start trusting your instinct and go, right, I'm not on the high road, but I want to get on it. That's when you start to bring in a new connection. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. You either bring in a new version of the person you've been holding a grudge against, or you bring a new person in completely. Here, when it says release your ex, I actually go release them from the chokehold that you have on them, which might actually bring them around to a new version of you. You might be able to mend your current connection or mend a connection from the past, or it actually, in releasing that person, you bring someone new in completely. When I say someone new is coming in, it's either a new version of them, a new version of you, or a new version completely. But a transition has to occur for you to have this. If you just want to bottleneck this, Leo, you're gonna stay stuck in that cycle. You're not going to get the full experience, and the universe will continue to chuck towers at you until you realize that you're on the low road. You need to get on the high road, and that's a big lesson in life. That it's hard to go through. These are tough energies, and it's I'm in it with you. Going, this is tough. It's going when you realize that you're a contributor to your situation. That reality is right 100% of the time. And you've got to get to compassion when you're a proud and strong person and realize, shit, actually, I've had a red hot hand in making this what it is. It's a tough energy to go face to face with. Faith is, we're going to go one more layer of energy. I've just been talking, haven't I? Holiday. We've got patience. We've got Magic. You got magic again. Wow. Spirit really does want to transform things. Forgiveness. And birth something new. This doesn't actually bring too much more insight to our reading, but you know, when you get repeating messages, I just see it as confirmation that we're on the right track, Leo. So don't stress too much that there's not a deepening of the message, but a repetition. I'm definitely seeing, you know, like this idea of faith and believing in the process that you're going through. When you have faith in something, it's you know, it's how do I want to express this? People say to me, right, like going, because I believe in Jesus, I believe that he died on the cross and he rose again and he overcome death. I have faith in that story, right? Which, and I've had it said to me, you know, on a couple of different fronts. I believe in the twin flame story. I believe in, like, all of my beliefs, right? People, I've had it asked of me, what if you believe on all this stuff and you get to the end of your life and it's all bullshit? And I go, well, I would have lived a better life of having had something to believe in, right? And this is where I think you are, Leo, is that your faith is being tested in going, if I lay down what I believe to be true right now, does it make me less of a person? And what I want to say to you, no, is like, you need a break. Holiday comes in going, you know, sitting in that stressful, tough energy of being unforgiving is not serving you at all. You know, there's a fresh new energy. Look at, I love this picture. It just looks like somebody has dived into spiritual waters and they're being lit up by it. This is what your faith is going to bring you. Believe in a new chapter being available to you upon releasing any grudge energy that you hold. Forgive who you need to forgive because something new is going to come in. Now, patience is an interesting energy to come into the soul space because you've got the tower there, right? It's understanding that the tower is a breakdown to breakthrough energy and to not get disheartened if you feel like the wheels are falling off the wagon while you're moving through this energy. So, you know, like patience is an interesting energy to come over the top because what spirit is looking to do in this soul space. Look, it's a 7 year embrace yourself. So they want to break down anything within your soul space that is lacking coherence or lacking understanding, lacking truth, in order to bring through a new version of love. Again, is it an old person coming back from the past? Are new? Are they different? Do they need your forgiveness? Do you need their forgiveness? Is there a process that is not yet understood that requires this tower to take place? When patience comes in over the top, it's saying, please don't lose heart. While you're in the throes of having this energy transformed, don't lose heart. You are entering a time of great love and peace. Be patient and allow the current storm to clear. A resurrection, no more wounds, and only love is predicted for the future. Now, what's interesting is 2023 is widely touted as the year of reconstruct, reconnect, resurrection. And you've got a couple of references to the Christ here. And look, I was even referencing it going, you know, how I believe in that he overcame death. And that's kind of what's indicated for you here is that you'll overcome this tower energy. And then what's promised on the other side is no more wounds, only love is predicted for the future. Now, here's an interesting combo though, is you've got faith and magic. Magic is in the challenge, and faith is the overriding push from the universe, and they kind of sit in the reading together. So faith will overcome any disbelief you have in the magic of your situation transforming. Like, the spirit really does want to shift and adjust and grow. Now, for magic to occur, there's a couple of cards that come out in tarot and oracle and that are related to alchemy, right? And it's like the ideals that you have to have all of the correct elements in place for magic to occur. But magic has a different kind of energy to alchemy. Alchemy is like a chemical process, right? You have all the chemical elements correct, and you'll be able to make your chemical reaction occur to transfer this from this to that. It will change states. Now, magic has a slightly different edge to it, and it's like it can be sleight of hand. It's like what your eyes don't see that transform. Like, you know, there's a lack of logic to it, whereas alchemy is heavily logic based. I can go, well, that element reacted with that element reacted with that element to change it to change states. Magic has a slightly different aspect to it, doesn't it? It's like, you know, when we watch magicians on stage and they're trying to deceive our eyes are filling in the gaps. Oh, interesting. Mars in Gemini energy. What do I keep saying? The missing information returns, and the magic is in the challenge. So you're going to understand the magic. I knew this was going to loop right back around. I'm going, why are you taking me down this story? I trust my words. I trust my mouth. It just keeps motoring. You're going to find the missing info in the magic. So your life is going to transform, but you're going to see the magic behind. Let's read this one. Magic, blessing, transformation. A blessing in disguise is coming your way. Keep an open heart and an open mind. This is a blessing in disguise, this Tower card, right? Is like the magic is transforming, but you can't see what is actually, it is transforming your situation, but you can't actually see what it's doing. It's like sleight of hand stuff. So keep your mind and your heart open. And I don't know, maybe you don't even have to know the why. I talk about this all the time. If you believe in the outcome and you have faith in the divine and the universe, let the universe conspire with you to transform your situation. And if it requires a tower, so be it. So be it. It's a blessing in disguise. So keep your heart open, even though that's difficult to do. Oh, I thought magic was in there. Where was that magic card? Did it come out up here? Yeah, look. It's happening there as well. Interesting. Now, Spirit is asking for the energy of forgiveness. And again, we see the Christ figure being put on the cross. Now, what's interesting about the Christ, right, is he was pinned to the cross and he'd had the crown of thorns and he had the nails in his feet and he'd carried the cross to the mount, the whole box and dice. Now, when he's there suffering, doing this great task, I mean, believe it, don't believe it, sit where you do. But, like, assume the story's correct, right? And that we're told that the example of the Christ is what we're meant to set out and do. Ask yourself, Leo, where do you sit in this story? Now, he's pinned to the cross, right? He would look like he looks like he's the one who's guilty. He looks like he's the one who's guilty because he's being punished. Has that been you? Have you been the one who's nailed to the cross and been told that you're to blame and you've sat in a place of indignant, knowing that you're innocent but being pinned to the cross? Now, the Christ example was to look out at the people who were punishing him, and he actually said to the divine, forgive them, they know not what they do. And I think this is what's coming towards you, is an understanding that whatever hurt that has happened between you and the people that are being referenced, it's, you know, there's going to be as many stories as there are. If I'm just talking to one person and it's one story, it gets specific. But, you know, if 50 people watch this, then you might have 50 different versions of it. But if you feel like you've been pinned to the cross and unfairly crucified, but still you look down at your persecutor and go, forgive them, they know not what they do, that's a unique level of understanding and compassion. And it puts you, like, here, you know, you're not on the high road just to be persecuted and to stand in your moral victory of going, you know, calling that person out. Where you truly move into understanding, where you truly evolve, where magic truly happens, is when you can get past your own suffering in the scenario and go, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. And you're actually working to, I mean, Christ was working to evolve the sins of the Romans as much as he was evolving to our sins, you know. It was everybody. He was doing this work for the all and the everything. And if you can get out of your suffering and your persecution and go, forgive them, they know not what they do, but actually look into the empathy behind what's gone on, perhaps there's something that you can say to them that makes peace, that is offering forgiveness. Final outcome, you're birthing something new. I love when this card comes out, especially in the outcome card, because you actually have, this is a double up on a birth or pregnancy energy. It could actually mean a birth or a pregnancy is in the wind. I mean, you've got it twice there. Holy dooly. So it could literally mean that there's a birth or pregnancy on the wind. But essentially, this is Empress energy. It's an evolution, and it's birthing something new in nurture and care. You will give birth to something new, something beautiful, an idea manifest, the beginning of a new and wondrous journey, blessings. And it comes on the back of this. To me, this is the pivot of your reading. If you can get through this tower moment and know it's a breakdown to break through in order to get you through a bottleneck, in order to birth new blessings, to me, that is at the heart of what we've read for you today. Under this Mars, direct in Gemini energy, look for the missing information that comes through under the energy of this tower. And on the other side of that, your plans and ideas are coming together, building up from the ruins of what falls down. You've got this, Leo. It's tough energy. It's tough energy, but move through it with as much grace as you can pull together. And on that, I'm going to wrap up this reading and say, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.